Chill out.
I am chilling.
Well, you can after this interview.
I don't know if this is gonna act right. Okay. All right, Combs family. How are we doing today?
Pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And at our last session, Gabriel, I didn't get to ask you what do you like to go by?
Gabe.
Gabe? You prefer Gabe?
Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Combs?
Mr. Combs is fine.
Okay. All right. So we're going to just pick up where we left off. I sent you two both with some homework, and I want to use this session to talk about how that homework worked out for you.
It did pretty good.
Okay. So we'll start with you first, Gabe. We talked about the homework was for you to vocalize to your parents whenever you felt like it wasn't fair for you to do a lot of tasks, and your father's homework was to kind of ease up on those tasks. So tell me, how did last week go?
It went pretty good. I didn't feel a lot stressed than I was before this.
Okay, so you were less stressful. Um, what were some of the changes that took place?
That they would ask 5 tasks a day so I wouldn't be overwhelmed with stuff.
Okay, and were they sticking to the 5 tasks?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you would like to add? Okay, thank you. Mr. Combs, how has Gabriel's attitude changed since last week?
It's been a lot better.
Okay.
He's not as aggressive, which that's what works out for both for me and his mother. And he's smiling a lot more. He ain't had no attitude really at all this week. Being responsible. That's all we ask. But I think because some new changes are taking place, that kind of helped as well. As far as his energy outlets with the basketball hoop that we got in the back now and what we got in the house, kind of provides a little bit of extra recreation time for him instead of being cooped up in his room.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that there has been some changes. So have you noticed any attitudes at all, or has that?
No,
ceased?
not really. I haven't seen any this week.
That's great. And so, with the reduction of tasks that were asked, what changes took place on those things that needed to be done that he wasn't doing anymore? Who kind of stepped in to do those things?
They could have been done by someone else the whole time. It's just a matter of us carrying them out and not asking him to do them for us. The only things like that mainly needed help with was Carter. For instance, if we're cooking and we need Carter to stay at the kitchen, kind of ask for him to distract Carter to keep him somewhere else. But it's also our responsibility as parents to figure out what to do in times like that.
So Carter is the youngest child?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there are 2 other children, right?
Yes, they're there every other week.
Okay. All right. So going forward, since this seems to be something that's working, that's what I'm hearing you say. Do you think that when the other children come, that you'll be splitting up those tasks so that even more is reduced on Gabe?
I think that's something that can be implied.
Okay. Gabe, what do you feel about your siblings having to split some of the tasks that you would be asked to do all the time?
I think it's all fair because I get to do some of the tasks and they all get to do tasks, so we're all productive in doing things.
Okay. Okay, I was making sure it was recording. Sorry. Okay. So, do you feel like this is something that you want to see going on more? Do you feel like you've been able to be comfortable to tell your parents when you're frustrated?
Yes, I have.
And has he communicated to you when he's been frustrated?
Yes.
And what's been your response to that?
We figure it out, trying to figure out what's bothering them, and then fix the situation.
Okay.
As best we can.
Okay, so it seems like you guys are gonna kind of collaborate together to work through those issues.
Yes.
Okay.
When you feel like there's a problem, say something.
Mm-hmm. So, what are some? I know that you all are a blended family,
Mhm.
and what are some of the things that you all do to bond one another?
Eating, playing games, activities, outings when we can enjoy them, watching movies, cooking.
And how much time do you say a week that you spend where you two just bond together?
And probably about an hour or two a week.
Hmm. And what do you feel about those bonding experiences? Are they fun? Are there other things that you wish you could do? More time just by yourself? What do you think
I
about
think
that?
they're pretty fun. It gets me out my room
Hmm.
and make me just be more productive and things.
Do you spend a lot of time in your room?
Yeah,
And when you're in your room, what are some of the things that you
like
do?
I play the game, or just be on my phone, or just sleep.
Okay.
Or e-learning.
Yeah,
How many hours a day does he spend on his phone?
It's hard to tell when he's in his room because sometimes he's not in there on the phone. He's in there playing the game or staring out the window.
Yeah, you like to stare out the window?
yeah, at the birds
Oh,
and the trees and such.
okay. So, with your younger brother, I understand that your younger brother is in the house with you most of the time. So, are there things that you do with your brother that way he doesn't bother you or make you frustrated?
Yeah, we go outside to take off some energy because he has a lot of energy.
Hmm.
And I play on my hoop and he goes on a little rope where he gets to swing.
Okay. And what do you feel about that? Do you like to see them play together, or is it
Yeah,
an
until they
infraction?
start getting into it.
Mm.
When they start arguing, then it's a problem. Then here comes Carter, "Eh," and there comes Gabriel. Well, he keep doing this. And it's just like, okay, look, somebody needs to come to some common ground. Either you started or he started it.
Hmm.
And trying to let him, clean that up, and then they go back to normal. Then 20 minutes later, somebody else comes back. Something happened. It just depends on the day.
Okay. So, what would you like that to look like if, when the two children that are here, Carter and Gabe, play together? How would you like that to go instead of the bickering back and forth? What do you think there's some things they can do so that they're not going back and forth?
It depends on what's happening. If they're watching TV, they have to collectively figure out what to watch together.
Mm-hmm.
If they're playing, just let Carter have the toys that he wants, and just let Carter ultimately have his way
Mm.
without having his way. Like the whole the game system thing. I say give Carter a controller. He won't know he ain't playing, but give him the controller. He'll think he's doing something. He ain't caught on yet.
So what I'm understanding you say is, in order to make things go easier, Carter needs to have his way.
Pretty much.
Gabe, I'm sorry. How does that make you feel?
It makes it feel less stressful because he gets to play and have fun, and I get to play and have fun and bond with my little brother.
Does it ever bother you that he can get his way and then you have to comply with what he wants to do in
Yeah.
order to make things smooth?
Yeah,
Is that something you've ever talked to your parents about?
not really.
Okay. So I think that's something that could be helpful to let them know so that that's something they can do um, to make things more comfortable so that you don't feel like you always have to give something up. Um, we talked a little bit about this in the pre-interview. Gabe, with you being involved in a blended family, Mr. Combs has been in your life since you were 5. And I understand that your biological father passed away not too long ago. Has that affected you in any kind of way?
Yeah, I would say.
How so?
Because he was nice to me, but not so much to my mother a lot. He just did not treat her well, but he treated me well. But I wanted my mom to be treated well,
Yeah.
not just me. I wanted to be fair.
Do you think that that plays in any kind of a factor with any of the frustrations that you have in the household?
No, I just left it in the past, but it still just kind of bothers me that he didn't treat her right.
So, Mr. Combs, have you noticed any mood swing changes due to that fact?
No,
Okay.
not really.
So what I'm understanding what you're saying, Gabe, is that although he didn't treat your mom too good, he was okay for you, but it doesn't bother you too much that he's not here anymore.
I mean, since he hasn't been for a long time, it kind of doesn't. Not in a rude way. It just, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Is that something hard for you to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. So, other than the attitude issues that Gabe was having, now that we found some homework that can kind of help reduce some of that, is there any other conflicts within the home that you all are trying to work through?
I don't think so.
Gabe, what about you?
Yeah, there's really nothing.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys are pretty on a pretty good page and that you guys are kind of working through the mood swings and the growing pains of adolescence and things like that. Okay. So we have about one more session that we will have. We're getting near time to the end of our session today. I would encourage you both to continue with the homework and to share those tasks with the other children when they come. And for you, Gabe, to continue to express your concerns whenever they may arise. And we will further discuss that in our next meeting. Do either of you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for being here today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all next week.
All right.